Hello everybody, welcome to Witness My Minis. My name is Peter and today we get possessed by a demon of the flame. So I got a commission from a return client on some scions of the flame. He wanted the flame to be painted fickle and demonic. I've actually painted this kind of flame once before, and I got a lot of questions on how I did it. So this time I thought, what the heck, I'll do a tutorial on my process. So I don't tackle these guys in the same way I would a normal mini, because the flame is the most important part of the scheme. The overall scheme will have to wait. I'll start by painting most of the flames, since the flames will be the focal point of the whole mini. And by doing this, I won't accidentally put down a color that would later clash with the flame colors that I want. I also choose to not do a zenithal highlighting, but rather start from a complete black, since the flame itself will be my light source. And by doing it this way, it actually works to my advantage, since I want really dark parts of the mini that contrast well with the bright flame.
Step 1.
I start by spraying all of the light source with white, using white ink through an airbrush.
Step 2.
After that, I cover the whole white area with fluorescent pink color. Since this color is very translucent, we have to go slow. I build it up so that none of the white shows through. This pink will work as the mid color or base color if you want.
Step 3.
I then take purple ink and shade the flames from one angle, choosing an angle that I feel is most striking. I also focus the ink towards the end of the flames, since that is where the heat starts to dissipate and the flames become more smoke. It of course will be hotter at the core and more smoky at the end. Painting this big dude, I actually had a thought. I thought I would try to make it look like his whole body is made of this demonic flames. Like his torso is just heat, and these flames that is erupting from his shoulders and arms are just, yeah, he is a fireball, a demonic eruption about to happen. Compared to the other flames, this guy is a lot harder since he has so much more angles and things to consider. But that said, he is bigger to paint, so I'm going to use him in most of my footage because it's easier for me to show you guys that way.
Step 4.
Then it's time to go brighter again. So yeah, like the last time, I use a white ink, but this time I won't use an airbrush. I'll use a brush and I'll selectively place the white ink in the core or near the core, in the recesses of the flame. And when that is dried, I go in with orange fluorescent color all over those white areas, not being careful at all about overspill. The fade from pink to orange actually works really well, since the pink brings forth the red in the orange. It actually makes the orange feel really hot, and this will of course work to our advantage since we're trying to simulate some kind of heat here, right? And on top of that, it actually gives us more color variations. For the big guy, I actually go quite heavy on the orange, and I try to use it to actually define the different parts of his body. And after that, I paint the rest of the mini. And as you might have seen, I've painted some base colors, but as you also see, they are very dark. So now I can build them up very slowly to not have them compete with my light source, but instead complement it with colors.
Step 5.
In the next step, we take it even brighter and we add yellow to the center of our flames. Once again, of course, we place the white first, placing it carefully in the middle of the flames, letting it dry, and then going over it with a yellow fluorescent color. Don't go overboard with this. Let this be the cream on top, the brightest point on the mini. And for the big guy, of course, I thought that this would be at the center of his core, of the center, like near his burning heart. So I found this crack in the torso and I went for it. You can then complete the flames by shading some blacks on the very tippity tops. This can be done with a black glaze or a wash like non-oil if you have it, but be careful in doing this. We don't want to ruin the nice transitions and progression that we have. We should now have a flame going from bright ass yellow to a dark black. And that, my friends, a contrast in a bottle.
Step 6.
When the minis are all painted up, it's time for the last and maybe the most important step when painting any kind of light effect. How does the flame affect the rest of the mini? Again, it's time for white ink. I carefully spray the areas that will be lit by the flame, making sure it's lighter closer to the flame and making sure that it fades the further away from the flame that it gets. So what color are we going to use over this white, you might ask yourself? Pink? Wrong! Since this is not a part of the actual flame, we will use the darkest color of the flame for this glowing effect. Not the black, that's smoke, but the same color we used in the shading step. And in this case, purple ink.
Step 7.
And after that, we can pick out hard edges close to the light source. Start out with edge highlighting them with white. And when that is dry, tint it slightly with a fluorescent pink color. And the same goes for any kind of metallics that you might have on your mini. Be sure to add a slight filter of pink, orange or purple to really sell the reflective nature of that surface, especially if it's close to the light source and depending on how reflective you want it to be. Don't be shy to do this over NMM or TMM, it doesn't matter. It really helps to sell the effect either way. And after that, we are done with these guys. But before I show you the final result, let me just tell you that the next commission I have in store for this client is actually a Bellecore. I've always wanted to paint one, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. I might do it on a video. Is that something that you would want to see? Be sure to comment down below if there is anything in particular that you would want me to show off. So be sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so you don't miss it. So without further ado, here is the science of the demonic flame. As always, thank you for watching. Bye guys.